Hi, this is Seymour from fitnessinstructorrevolution.com, and in this short video we're going to have a look at what really is the best fitness job there is anywhere. This is part one of a two-part video series. In part one we're looking at the instructor's perspective. So let's crack on. First of all, I want to bust a myth, and it is a complete and utter myth, that teaching in a class, sort of in a village hall or a meeting room or a back room of a club somewhere, is somehow inferior to teaching in a gym. There's this thing that because gyms are nice and shiny and they have great conditions in most places, that somehow if you teach there you're a better instructor than if you teach in a village hall. That is absolute and utter nonsense. What makes the class is the instructor. The environment contributes and it helps, and great, we'd all love to teach classes in nice shiny gyms all of the time. But the hall and the room is secondary to the instructor, providing it's safe, providing you've got a nice floor, or at least a floor that is not slippery, providing you have a room that's not too hot, that people can actually move around safely and you've not got beams and pillars everywhere, then it doesn't matter where it is. What matters is the quality of the class that you deliver, not the room that you deliver it in. And now another myth, that if you teach in a village hall, then the only thing you could possibly do is aerobics or yoga or Pilates or something similar, something perhaps 20 years old, something old school, freestyle aerobics. Again, it's complete and utter nonsense. I have personally taught classes like Body Pump, and yes, I mean Body Pump, the Les Mills Fit Pro licensed classes, properly licensed, in a village hall. You can do it. But yes, taught step, taught freestyle, taught aerobics as well, but you don't have to do that. It comes down to what you can teach, what you want to teach, and what there's a demand for, not just because of where you're teaching you somehow have to do something different. Let me show you why though, that having got rid of those nonsense myths that people look down the nose, perhaps if you're a village hall instructor rather than a studio instructor for an LA Fitness or a Greens or whatever, let me show you why it is that it really is teaching in a group fitness class in a village hall could well be the best fitness job there is. Let's have a look at a gym first of all. You can see on the screenshot that I've got in front of you, this is just the first one I came across, to be honest, when I was putting this together. And you can see the website it's come from. You can go and have a look yourself to prove that it's not made up. This is all real stuff. LA Fitness in Northwood in Middlesex, advertising a fitness instructor job for a top end £17,000 a year for a 40-hour working week. I haven't put the whole page on there because there's too much of it. It would take forever to display it all. But if you see that, £17,000, 40-hour week, that's £8.17 an hour, and you're expected to teach classes on those shifts as well. And that's at the top end. Down at £13,000 a year, you're getting closer towards £6 per hour. Absolute nonsense. Again, same website, and if you do a Google search any kind of fitness jobs, you'll see the leisure jobs comes up every time. Let's have a look at what freelancers are getting. And this isn't to say this is the best freelance rate, it might not be the worst. It's the first one I came along when I put this together. This casual exercise instructor, which is another word for freelance, in Oldham, £17.52 per class. Whoopee-doo. And for a start, I wonder where on earth they got £17.52 from, one odd number to actually pay somebody, but nevertheless. So we'll wait and see about that one. But you can see £17.52 for teaching a single class. Now let's compare it to a village hall. If you go teach and set your own class up in a village hall and you put 20 people in a room, which isn't unreasonable, you could go as high as 30, you might be down at 15, but in most cases 20 is a reasonable number that anybody could easily achieve 20, and certainly a good class could achieve nearer 30 without a problem at all. Put 20 people in, £5 a head, a reasonable going rate, £100 takings. Now, if you're being really pessimistic, you'd say the rent for that class for that hour, for the room that you've hired, is £25. In reality, it's not. They're nearly always cheaper than that. That would be a really bad rate. But let's allow £25. Let's assume perhaps you've got £10 of other costs. Not sure what there might be. but let's assume you have, you're still £65 in profit for that hour. So that's £65 compared to £17.52 teaching as a freelancer, or £8, whatever the number was, teaching in a gym and teaching classes as part of your shift. Now, if someone says to you that somehow teaching in Village Hall isn't as good as teaching in a gym, well, I'd argue the maths make it very much the better place to be. Add in a couple of other things as well that you might want to think about. If you run your own Village Hall class, you don't have a boss to answer. There's no studio coordinator or fitness manager that is telling you what to do. You haven't got 40-hour working weeks on shifts that start at 7 in the morning, that can finish at 9 or 10 at night, and that run right through the weekend. You don't have to cover and go and teach a class at 10 minutes notice because your colleague hasn't turned up, and even if you've already taught 2 that morning. And one of the best things about running your own Village Hall classes is you get a fantastic relationship with your participants. It's all about your relationship, and you can build that far more strongly and far more deeply than you ever can do in a gym. So don't get suckered. Just because a gym's nice and shiny and they've got all the latest kit in their studio, it does not make it a better place for you to be teaching. In fact, it can be quite the opposite. If you want to learn more about how to be a good instructor, if you want to earn more, then find a room and do it yourself. And if anybody thinks that we're overlooking PTs in this video, we're not. A PT could earn £65 in a couple of hours, but you've got to travel to each client, and if one client cancels on you, then your income is cut in half. If you lose one person in a group fitness class, your 20 is down to 19. You've still taken away £60. Whoa, that's terrible, isn't it? If you're a PT and one person cancels, then your £60 or £70 is down to 30 or 40. Your income is cut in half because one person couldn't make it. So, that's it. That's why, from an instructor's perspective, teaching group fitness classes in your own hall, your own village somewhere, is a great way to make a living. In fact, in my opinion, it is the best way as a fitness instructor to make a living. Part 2 of this video, we're going to look at it from the participant's perspective. What is it in it for a participant? Where's the best place for them to be participating in classes? If you want to have a look at that video, it's at fitnessinstructorrevolution.com, or as this is a Facebook exclusive video, if you have a look at the top of this page, you can see the link that says free training video. If you click that, you'll see a form that you can complete. That will get you access to the video. Thanks a lot, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.